Hey, lords and ladies, boys and girls, it is the second Friday of the month, so it is time for the week that was, where I catch you up on everything that I read this week, plus, whatever happened during that first part of the month. So, what did we read? We only really finished up 2 books so far this month, which is a little slow, but I am making up for it. First book we finished was Cold Iron Task by James J. Butcher, which finished off a streak of 4 or 5-star reads for me in a row. No complaints there. Absolutely loved it. After that, I finished up The Verifiers by Claudia Lynn. Still a decent book, just wasn't quite that 5-star read. But again, I've got nothing to complain about. So that's everything that I did read. What am I currently reading? I have dived back into Glass House by Paul Jessup, starting to make a little headway on that one. I have been listening to Barrow King by C.M. Carney, almost finished up with that. I have started on Left on Rancho by Francesco Paola. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And then I've also digging my way through Joe Abercrombie's The Devils, which is probably a little over the top in the language department for me, but is excellently written. Yeah, that one's going to be good. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. I think it drops in May, but I think most of you are going to like it. So that's everything I've read, everything I'm reading. What else do I've got going on? TV front, we're still doing the same. We are all caught up on Reacher as of last night. And we will probably catch up on Matlock and The Pit tonight, because those drop at like 8 o'clock Central Time, and we're reading before bed at that time. We're not staying up watching TV. So that is all the entertainment news. What did we have on our channel so far this month? Obviously, first and foremost, we started off the month with our interview with James J. Butcher. That was excellent. Love that book. Like I said, he's got 3 novels out so far. Every single one of them has been a 5-star for me. If you haven't checked out the Unorthodox Chronicles yet, check it out. You will not be disappointed. Second of all, I followed up with a impromptu interview with author Jen Lyons, author of the Chorus of Dragons series and also The Sky on Fire. She is doing a crowdfunding, and I'll make sure that I've got the link down in the description below for her new science fiction book. This will be her first published science fiction novel, but as she will tell you, it's basically a redo of the very first novel she wrote. It just didn't get published, so looking forward to that one. Definitely has some interesting stuff going on there. I'm intrigued. Can't wait for it to come out. The backer kit, kind of like Kickstarter, starts on the 18th. So if you've got a few extra bucks, hang out for the 18th. Go ahead and if it sounds interesting to you, I'd love to see that book get printed. So of course, backer kits, Kickstarters, all that stuff, they do need to make their goals. And then thirdly, we did a special edition of Horror Reads. If you're not familiar with Horror Reads, over on Blue Sky, which is pretty much where all the authors who left Twitter have gone, we have on Saturdays, we have Horror Watch, where we all watch a horror movie that has been chosen by the group, and it's usually on Tubi because that's free and almost everybody can get to it. And then we just discuss it via hashtag. And then also on Sundays, we do Horror Reads, which is where we've all read a short horror story, audio horror story. Usually it's over on Pseudopod. Shout out to them because that is also free. But they do accept donations because they do pay their authors. So if you check out Pseudopod and you like it, make sure to throw them a couple extra bucks. But we had a special edition. We did a live version. We still had the conversation on Blue Sky like we always do. But people also got to join us. Author Paul Jessup, who kind of heads up Horror Sky, and I talked about the story that we listened to. People got to talk about it in the chat, both on YouTube and in Blue Sky. And then we also had a special audio because it was way too late for him. But the one of the hosts of Pseudopod, who also had narrated this particular story that we listened to, which was The Cask of Amontillado. I always say it wrong. I think I get it right. Probably didn't. By Edgar Allan Poe. So I'd send him some questions, and then he sent me back the WAV file, and we got to listen to that as well. So yeah, I had 3 live streams last week, or that week. It was ridiculous. I don't normally do that. It was a little crazy. Knocked out a couple of book reviews, got those up on the channel. And also, if anybody's interested, I did do a video where I went through some of the analytics on my YouTube channel for booktubers and kind of went over my thoughts on shorts, my thoughts on YouTube advertising, my thoughts on book reviews. But if you're a newer channel or if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check that out. And of course, we also did the monthly wrap for last month. That is everything. Going to be doing something a little different going forward because I never really do anything for my Patreon, which is probably why it's empty. But moving forward, obviously, most of my author interviews are live stream. Those are still going to be going up to YouTube. Everybody can watch them. I streamed them both YouTube and Twitch. However, if it is a pre-recorded interview, there's not too many of them. The Scott Guild one was one I recorded at a local bookstore. The Kelly Bishop one was pre-recorded. But any of those type of ones, those are actually going to be posted on Patreon. I haven't decided yet. Maybe a week, maybe a couple of days. But those are going to go on Patreon first. If you're interested, go ahead and check that out. I'm just looking for something to do for the Patreon that you guys might enjoy. And again, that's not going to be very many of them. In fact, I think the next pre-recorded one I know for a fact, I'm supposed to have an interview with V.E. Schwab coming up, and we're pre-recording that because we're not going to drop it until closer to the lay-down date of her next novel, which is Bury Our Bones Beneath the Midnight Soil. I feel bad for that. I'm second-guessing that. She just called it Bones forever, and that's what always sticks in my head. But now it has a name and a date and all that good stuff. But we're going to be talking about that one, and so I will get that one put together. Don't have a date yet, probably sometime in April. And then I think the book comes out in either late May or early June, which is closer to when we're actually going to drop it on YouTube. So sometime before that, I'll have it posted to Patreon first. And then, of course, I will also get caught up. After the YouTube, probably a couple days after YouTube, it's going to go up on Amazon. Excuse me. It's going to go up on Apple Podcasts, which is what I've always done. And after today, I should also be all caught up on Spotify, which I added late, so I've been slowly catching up. So it'll be Patreon if it's pre-recorded, then it's going to be YouTube, whether it's pre-recorded or live. Obviously, it's live. That's where it's going to start. Then it's going to go up on Apple Podcasts, and then finally it'll be on Spotify because the last one I did was the Jen Lyons one, and that should be going up tonight on Spotify. So I'm finally all caught up with the Spotify catch-up. Anything else new? The only other thing that's going to be new is I'm probably dropping the StreamYards paid, at least for now. I might stay with StreamYards free, or I might move over to a different thing, but StreamYards is doubling the price of their paid subscription, which was nice because I got to do my own background and I got to get rid of the, StreamYards logo and all that stuff. But yeah, they doubled up. It's going to be like $400 and something a year. And it's like, yeah, when you have an empty Patreon, I have put everything on this channel has come out of my own pocket so far, and that was just a bigger chunk than I think I was willing to put out. $20 a year for Apple Podcast, no problem. I can do that for you guys. And I even did. It was almost $200 last year for StreamYards, but jumping up to $400 and something, that's a little painful. So, yeah. Probably, you're either probably going to see the logo, or I'm going to switch over. I can't remember the name of the other one. Oh, here it is. EVMux, I guess is what it's EVMUX. EVMux or EVMux or whatever they call it. I might be checking them out as well. I'm pretty sure like Brian Bell and some other people use that. My voice felt fine this morning, but as soon as I started talking, I went full rasp. Anyhow, so that's all the new stuff that's going on. Don't have anything planned for next week for once. It's like the first half of the year has been super crazy. Obviously, in April, we've got the Michael Michelle interview coming up. We should have a Nat Cassidy interview coming up. Still waiting to pick a date for that. And like I said, I will probably be recording the V. Schwab update or the V. Schwab interview in April. But again, that's not going to post till May or June. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. All right. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you hanging out. As always, all the fun stuff, like, subscribe, watch another video. Yeah, that's real. At this point, the like and subscribe is nice, but the watch another video, that's the part that'll get you. Especially, some of those author interviews I'm talking about. And of course, Jen Lyons, everybody check that one out before next week, because again, the 18th is when that backer kit goes live, and I'd kind of like you all to know whether or not you're interested or not. So I will probably make sure that is instead of the best for viewer, I'll probably make sure that's the video that pops up at the end of this. I hope you have some good reads, and I will catch you later.